Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Habib Ali and I am an ICT tutor by profession. In today's lesson, we are going to be learning about how to convert a range of cells of data into an Excel table and the benefits of an Excel table. For today's lesson, I'm using a file called lesson 63 Excel tables, and as usual you can get a copy of this file by clicking on the link I have left for you in the description down below. When you click the link, it will take you to my website directly on lesson 63 and you can get your hands on this file. So I'll give you a second to do that now if you wish. Okay, welcome back. So in front of you I have got two sets of data, one set of data here and then another set of data here, and they are actually both identical, and the reason I have done that is so that I will use this set of data to convert this into a table, and I will leave this as it is, as normal range of data, and then we can see the difference and the benefits of converting data into a table. Okay, so the first thing we need to do now is convert this into a table. Now to do this, you can actually do it a few ways, and I'll show you two today. So long your data is contiguous, meaning there isn't any blank rows or blank columns in between this range of data, you do not need to select the data such as this. So long you are clicked or selected within this range, you can then click on insert and you can create the table just by clicking here. The minute you do that, Excel will automatically select the full range. You can see how perfectly and accurately Excel has done that for us. So it then is asking us, okay, this is the range for your table, and does your table have any headers? Well, my table does contain any headers. I'm happy with that. If it doesn't, I would have to untick this, and then what Excel will do is give me some of the default table headings, which are column 1, column 2, column 3, and so on. So I'm ready to click on OK. When I click on OK, it will actually convert this into a table, but I'm just going to click on cancel because I want to show you the second method. The second way you can convert this into a table is by clicking on the Home tab and then going to your styles group, and just up here you've got format as a table. So what we can do is format the table straight away as we are converting the data into a table. So you've got all the styles or designs. You can select the one you choose, but remember, if you don't like the one you select right now, you can always change it later, so don't worry about that. I'm just going to choose this one here, and then I'm given the same information. So it's got tables, I'm okay with that. So when I click on OK, it will instantly convert this into a banded design that I have selected from the table styles group, and straight away I have a table. Now how do I know that I have a table? Well, the most important section is up here in the ribbon. Now I have a new tab called table design. So this is how I know that I have successfully converted this data range into a table. Now when I click out of the range, let's say somewhere down here or even here, the table design tab will disappear simply because this is not a table. So when I click in the table table design tab will appear. Now on the table I can select any style I want. So let's go ahead and pick a different design. So as I am hovering my mouse over each one of these different styles, we've got from light to medium all the way to dark styles. So feel free to pick one that you desire. I'm going to go for something like this one here, quite like, or maybe even this one. We're actually spoiled for choice, as you can see. I'm going to select this one actually. I'm happy with that one. And once you've got the table, what we can do is also select whether we want a banded row design or even banded columns. So if I select banded columns, I've got both of them on now. Now it doesn't look very good, so I do recommend you either have the banded columns or the banded rows. I tend to like the banded row design like this one, so I'm going to switch off the columns and just stick with this one. So the next thing about the table or what we need to do is give the table a name. So when the table has been generated, straight away here on the left hand side under table design, in the properties group, you need to give the table a name. So I'm going to give this one a name such as exam results, because this will be a relevant name to the set of data I have. And also please make a note that the table cannot contain any spaces, and every single table in your spreadsheet must have a unique name. Once you've got your name in, you simply need to press enter on the keyboard and it will accept the name of the table. So as you can see, it is called exam. So I made a mistake there. Let me change that one to exam results. This is what I wanted. So as you can see, if you do make a mistake in the name of the table, you can always change it there. It is no bother. And I'm going to press enter again, and I have changed the name. Okay, another way of saying or identifying the name of the table that I have given is by using the name box here. So if I click on the arrow now, I should get this name of the table there, and when I click on it, it will actually select the full range of data of my table minus the headings of the table. You can also access all your tables and display all the table names, where you can also rename through the name manager. Now to access the name manager, you simply click on the formulas tab here, and in the defined names group, you've got access to the name manager just up here. So when I click on it, it will show every single table that I have in this spreadsheet. Now I only have one, but if you have more than one, you should be able to see every single one of them, and each one that is a table will be identified by this icon, which means that it is our table. So from here, from the name manager window, we can rename the table simply by either double clicking on it or selecting the relevant table and clicking on edit, and then we should be able to change the name. And also we can see the full range of cells that is being used for this particular table. Once you've changed the name, if you wanted to, you would simply click on OK again, but I'm just going to click on cancel because I haven't changed the name. I'm going to close this as well. Okay, the next thing I want to tell you, let's say you have converted a range of cells into a table by mistake and you want to revert this process. You can do so simply by right-clicking anywhere within the table and then going to table here and clicking on convert to range, which basically means it will no longer be a table, it will just be an ordinary range of cells. So if I click on there, it will give me this message: do you want to convert the table to a normal range? All I have to do is click on yes. You can also do this through the ribbon simply by clicking on the table design, and just in the tools group, all you have to do is click here, convert to range, and it will do exactly the same thing. But I do not want to do that, so I'm going to just close this message. The next thing I want to tell you is about this little blob or this little tiny bit of color that you can see on the bottom right hand side. We call this the sizing handle for the entire table. So if I wanted to make the range of this table bigger in terms of, maybe let's say I wanted to add more rows and more columns, I can do so by using this sizing handle. All I need to do is move my mouse over it and click and drag to expand the range just like that. But at this moment, I don't need to manually increase the range. However, please do make a note that this is the indicator as to where your range will actually stop for the table. Now, if I wanted to apply further formatting of my own choice to the table, I will need to select either the entire table or certain rows or individual columns. Now, in a table, it is very important to understand that to select a full table, there is a few ways you can do this, and I'm going to show you this particular method. So all you have to do is either anywhere around the edge of the columns, near the columns at the top, or here on the left hand side near the rows. If you just move your mouse till you see this four-way arrow and then simply click, what it will do is select the entire table including the headings, and then if you wanted, you can do additional formatting techniques of your own choice. For example, if you wanted to make everything bold or change the color of all the text to a certain color of your own choice, you can also do that. You can also select individual columns and rows. Now, again, please pay attention to this little bit simply because it can be a little bit tricky. So let's say if I move my mouse right up here on column F and I click, now you can see the entire column has been selected. Now this is not what I want, because all I want is the column within the table to be selected. So just in case, I could have had data underneath here, so I don't want that data to be selected. I only want the data within my table. Now I understand this is a small range, so I can manually click and drag, but that's not the general idea. Or you can use the keyboard shortcut by holding down Control Shift and pressing the down arrow. But the other method that I wanted to show you today as well is if you hover your mouse again right on top of the column and then just go slightly further down till your arrow touches that line, and then if you click, you will notice that the entire row has been selected, and if you click again, also the column heading will be selected as well, and then you can go and do the formatting as you desire. Now the very same method or the technique you can also use for the rows. So you can see I've just got my arrow slightly over the line. Now if I click, it will only select the row within the table and not the entire row number 6, such as that, because I don't want any changes to be made on this side. Okay, now that you have understood how to create or convert Excel data into an Excel table, let's have a look at some of the benefits of having an Excel table. Benefit number 1, formatting applied automatically to new rows and columns inserted. So if I just copy, let's say, Mary's record from here, which is not formatted at all. So if I copy this and paste it under this table, just going to press Ctrl V, you can see it automatically takes the formatting of the existing table and continues with the banding design. So this is an amazing advantage of a table, and the same thing will apply if I was to insert some new data here into a new column. Again, the same design, the pattern will also continue. Benefit number 2, formulas are automatically copied down. So in this spreadsheet, I've actually got an if function here. So if I was to start typing some data, let's say a new record for this table, and the minute I type something in there, the formula or the function that is associated with this new record, it will be automatically copied down. You can see just here it is a fail simply because there is nothing in this cell. Excel is taking this as a 0 and therefore the result is being displayed as a fail. Whereas in a normal range of data, if I was to add let's say a new record and I pressed or I moved across to the next cell, it will not generate the function or the formula automatically. So this again in the table is a lovely advantage. Benefit number 3, table cell range always automatically expands. Okay, so as I said earlier, the table, you have this sizing handle for the table, which is the indicator to tell you the complete range of the data. So let's say when I do add a new data, so I'm just going to copy this time Janet, the entire record, and I'm going to paste it in there. And you can see that the sizing handle automatically has been adjusted to include the new record automatically. So this applies to adding in new rows and new columns. So let's say this data source or this range of data is associated with a pivot table or any other functions such as VLOOKUPs or HLOOKUPs and many other functions, then the data source will be updated automatically. You do not need to go in there manually and adjust the range of the table, or you would have to do if you were not using a table and you were using simply a normal range of data. You would have to go manually to the data source and increase the the range for any new records added to this range of data to be taken count for. However, in the table, all this is done automatically. As you can see, the sizing handle automatically took this new record into the table. Please don't worry about pivot tables or any of the functions that I have mentioned, such as the VLOOKUPs and HLOOKUPs and so on, because I am planning on creating individual lessons to cover VLOOKUPs and HLOOKUPs and pivot tables as well. So please do look forward to that. Benefit number 4, freeze column headings as you scroll down. Okay, this is a lovely feature of an Excel table. So let's say I am clicked outside of the table, just somewhere down here, and as I scroll down you can see the column headings have disappeared, and it makes it difficult to understand this data. So wouldn't it be a great idea if we could have these headings of the table constantly at the top here, just like you would normally do by freezing panes of a particular column or a particular row. So let's see how an Excel table behaves in terms of having these headings constantly to be displayed at the top of the table. So for this to happen, you must be clicked again anywhere within the table. So I'm just going to click in this cell. Now as I scroll down, you can see now the column headings ABC has been replaced with the headings of this table. But if you have a look here in the normal range of data, the column headings, the letters are still there. So this makes understanding this data a little bit more difficult if it was something a little bit more technical. But in this Excel table, it is very convenient for us to have the headings here at the top as we scroll down, so it makes more sense for us to understand each one of these cells and as to what they are representing. So that's a lovely, amazing advantage of the table. Benefit number 5, move rows and columns. Now within an Excel table, you can actually move these columns around and have them in any position you want. So let's say, for example, I want to move the pass and fail column just before the results column. All I have to do is select this entire row. Remember, just the row within the table and not the entire column. That would not work. So please make sure you select the column of the table, and once you have done that, you can simply go to the edge till you see the four-way arrow, and then simply click and drag, and then you can position it wherever you want and then let go when you are happy. So I said I want to place it just before the results column. So if I let go just now, you can see they both have switched around. But in a normal range of data, this would not be possible. So let's say I want to move this range of data just before the results. So just like I did here, I have selected the full range, and as I move my mouse here and just simply click and drag, and when I let go, this is what I will get. It's asking me, do I want to replace it? So we can't really move them around. We can simply replace another column or set of data. The only way around it really is to generate another new blank column here beforehand, and then I can transfer or move this set of data into that empty column. So again, you can see how wonderful are the benefits of a table. Benefit number 6, adding new rows and columns. So within the table, it is actually possible simply just to add a new row or a new column just within this table and not the entire worksheet. So for example, let's say I wanted to insert a new row just above row number 7 where Donald Denison's record is. All I have to do is make sure I am clicked anywhere within this row. So if I just click here, for example, and then simply right click on the mouse and go to insert, and I get the option to insert a new table row above. So above of Donald. So let's click on there, and you can see I have an empty row generated just above Donald. And again, if I wanted a new column to be generated to the left of, let's say, campus, so again I can have my mouse selected or clicked anywhere within this column, let's say down here, and if I go to right click and go to insert, I can say, or I can ask for a new column to be inserted to the left, and I get a new one, and all I have to do is give it a relevant heading to this column and then type in the information. And similarly, if within this blank row that I have generated, I would have to fill this in with a new record. Now this would be very difficult within a normal range of data for me to create a new row or a new column. So let's say, for example, if I wanted to create a new row, normally I would have to select the entire row and then right click and go to insert. Now this will give me a new row here as well, so it will mess this data up. And similarly with a column, if I did have another table or some more data here underneath this data, and I did right click and I went to insert, it will give me a blank entire new column, and it would mess up the data underneath of this. But with tables, you can independently include new rows and columns without having or any other data being affected, as I have just demonstrated to you. Benefit number 7, filter data. Now you may have noticed straight away when I created or converted this data into a table that Excel automatically gave me the filters next to the headings at the top of this table, which I can use to filter the data as I wish. So for example, let's say I wanted to see all the exam results of all the students that was taken place in the Manchester campus. So I can use the filter button and simply select Manchester register only and click OK, and it will automatically filter that data for me, as you can see. Now again, this option is available under the table design tab, which if I wanted I can switch it off or I can switch it on as I wish, but I like to have the filter button on for the table because I can filter the data at any point as I like to do so. Now, in comparison to the normal range of data, I would have had to insert this filter option manually. So again, it is time consuming. So in the table, again, it's an advantage. Benefit number 8, total row where various calculations can be carried out. So I have left this one till the end. So simply, when you do have a table in a spreadsheet, what you can do is under the table design tab, you can take the total row option, and this will give you a new row at the bottom of your table. Now this cell here, using this we can actually carry out various calculations for this particular column. So let's say down here now I've got an answer 1181. So by default this is actually a sum function, so it is adding up all these cells to give me this answer. Now right next to it you also have an arrow. By clicking on the arrow, what we can do now is instantly choose different calculations to be carried out. So for example, if I wanted to know the average of this range of cells in the results column, all I have to do is click on average, and it will automatically switch and show me the average answer. Similarly, I can count every single one of them as well. You can see there's 15 cells here. I can find out what the maximum value is, which is 100. I can find out the minimum value, which is 50, and so on. So I'm just going to leave it on the sum function for now. So again, you can see the benefits of a table. Now for me to carry this out on a normal range of data, I would have had to generate this sum function myself automatically, and again this is time consuming. So I bring you back to the benefits of a table in Excel. And this concludes this lesson, and I hope this was a thorough lesson for you, because I wanted you to totally understand tables in Microsoft Excel and the many benefits, because all this knowledge from this lesson we will carry over in the next few lessons, and we will be using tables to create many other functions. So if you do have any further questions or anything you want me to clarify, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section. And finally, please don't forget to like and share this lesson and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. And I shall see you over in the next lesson. So until then, please do look after yourself, and goodbye for now.